Welcome into Caldwell Sports Commentary. I am your host, Keegan Matheson, and today I am joined by my hero and water department hero of Lenore, Kevin Matheson. How are you?
Doing well this morning. How you doing, Keegan?
I'm fantastic. Wearing white for awesomeness. Anyway, so
wearing red for blood giving.
For blood giving. Vampires.
Today.
I'm wearing blood for the vampires. So let's talk about a little bit of sports.
You know what? I am anxious to do so. And
Let's do it.
You know what? Instead of just talking about what is going to be or what might be or what isn't
That's
going
right.
to be.
Last time we recorded, we didn't know that there was going to be a baseball season, but it is apparently going to happen.
Yeah, we're taking place tomorrow night, Thursday. Opening day of Major League Baseball. Finally, we were wondering. Honestly, I was very skeptical. The last time we did this that we were even going to have a baseball season, but
As we all were.
And we are, and it is starting off with a doozy. Tomorrow night, very first game, 7 p.m. Garrett Cole, the brand new Yankee, acquired from the Astros in the offseason for a lot of bang.
That's July 23rd, by the way. We're filming this on July 22nd.
There you go. So tomorrow, July 23rd, we'll see Garrett Cole from the New York Yankees against Max Scherzer of the defending world champion Washington Nationals.
Sounds like a pretty good matchup.
7 p.m. tomorrow night. So by the time this airs, probably, Friday, it will have happened last night. So, and it's a pitcher's duel shaping up to the very first game.
Absolutely.
Max Scherzer and Garrett Cole. I think, did they match up in the World Series last year? Scherzer against Cole. They did one of the games last year. So it'd be a rematch, I believe, of a game in the World Series last year. And certainly, thinking who's going to have the advantage in a long off spring training and summer training. Will it be pitchers? Will it be hitters? We'll see.
Exactly. Well, I mean, if I had to give an edge to anybody, I think I'd go with the defending champions.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think so. They're going to be retooled a little bit. No Anthony Rendon at third base, but Juan Soto is tearing it up in the shortened preseason.
Absolutely, my favorite young player. I love Juan Soto. The shuffle and the baby shark. Can't beat it. Can't beat the Juan Soto shuffle. Continue.
All right. And then the nightcap will be the San Francisco Giants playing against their arch rival, the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's Johnny Cueto for the Giants against Clayton Kershaw, and Cy Young winner multiple times for the Dodgers.
Right.
Should be a really good matchup. So pitchers duels the first night of Major League
What do you
Baseball.
think of the Giants this year?
I think it's a retooling year, as you probably know, or maybe the people at home don't, that their institution battery of Madison Bumgarner, our local hero, moved on to the Arizona Diamondbacks,
right.
and Buster Posey, the catcher behind the plate, is taking the year off. Not playing this season, so there will be a lot of young guys with some opportunities, a lot of unknowns for the Giants. New manager, everything's kind of new. So I think, not trying to cast some shade that way, but I think they'll probably bring up the cellar in the National League West. There was a struggle. But who knows? In a shortened season, you only got 60 games. Never happened in the modern era, that few a game.
It's a
sprint.
Let's talk about that format a little bit. What do you think of only 60 games? I mean, that's less than half of what they usually do.
Yeah, way less. 102 games less than usual.
Right. So, I mean, does that give it a distinct advantage to a certain team?
I don't think anyone knows at this point. Right. This is all uncharted territory.
I mean, because like if you get the best pitchers, because you can use your best pitchers if you're only playing 60 games. I mean, you're going to play Garrett Cole. You're going to try to get him as many starts as you possibly can.
Absolutely.
You want to wear out his arm before you get to the postseason, but I mean, I think that definitely gives the Yankees a little bit of an advantage to have this shorter of a season. I think.
I think everybody and most of the talking heads and pundits, I don't know if we're considered part of that group, but
we'll take it.
Have pretty much penciled in the Dodgers and the Yankees again in the World Series. Just the most talent-laden rosters from each league.
But it's the media. They have to say LA and New York.
Yeah, because they're the two largest media.
Right. And Celtics,
outlets.
Lakers, they always will say that too. It's just
exactly. So, but honestly, we don't know.
Right.
Like you said, I do think that pitching is going to be. It's going to be a little different than in the past. You don't have to conserve arms as much.
Right.
You can go right after it. You can go to the bullpen very quickly.
Right.
You don't have to worry about wearing out a bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got an increased roster size because there's no minor league baseball this year.
Who in the Major League Baseball do you think has the best bullpen?
Well,
The Rays.
the Braves probably now, but I think and the Rays.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Rays, but the Nationals. I mean, you got Doolittle. They've got a good bullpen. The returning world champions. So maybe that it works to their
No
advantage.
DH, right? They changed it this year.
No, it's both DHs.
Aha. Okay. So
Yeah.
I knew there was something wild card about
so
the DH.
National League gets to try out the DH
Right.
for changing.
I see.
And their only regular season games will be played against their division foes in their own league, and the opposing.
So Howie Kendrick gets to
Same.
play every game.
Maybe he'll play somewhere. World Series hero, and
Right.
and in some of the playoff games in the National League Championship Series. But that's gonna be fun. So kind of interesting. They didn't have a rematch of the World Series, but we'll see. But it couldn't because the Astros are in the West of the American League, and so they will only play against the National League West and the American League West teams, and same for the Central and the East. So it's going to be really interesting. A lot of games in just their region. So we'll see how that shakes out. The next
No fans right now.
No
They
fans.
said
There'll
no
be
fans,
no fans
in any.
of these games. How will that affect the players?
In baseball, I don't know if it has a major effect, but I don't know. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I think they're used to having noise
Yeah.
in the background. It's going to be very odd. Now, maybe in spring training, not so much, but
Right.
this is regular season where everything's supposed to be heightened and amped up, and
Right.
so we'll just have to see how that plays out. But they're professionals. They've been doing
Do you
this their
think
whole adult lives.
Just
so.
for the spectator value of the sport, that it'll make it more boring, not having that fan interaction and crowd noise. And
I think it's going. I think for the media outlets, they're having to bring this to the fans.
Right.
They're going to have to be creative in keeping it interesting. They're not going to have that fan energy to play off of. It's going to have to be maybe some interesting play-by-play, some things in between innings, maybe some gimmicky things to
Right.
keep the fans.
So you're
interested.
saying Max Vasgersian can't call every game?
No.
I mean, if he could call every game, we'd be okay. We'd be fine.
Yeah, I like him.
Santa Maria.
There's a few of them, and I don't know if I should cast some shade on the broadcasters in the industry that I don't care for, but
Right.
hey, there's only 60 games and a lot of broadcasters, so a lot to go around. So
Right.
we should be able to keep it interesting. And then Friday night,
Right.
to go into this, I'll give you the slate for Friday night. So if you're watching this on Friday, you'll get to see what's playing today.
Finally.
Braves at Mets, Tigers at Reds.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
your favorite
my
team, the
your
Tigers. My
favorite-
favorite team, the Reds. Interesting. Of course, both Central Division in their opposite leagues. Blue Jays at Rays, Marlins at Phillies, Royals at Indians, Brewers at Cubs, Orioles at Red Sox, Rockies at Rangers, Twins at White Sox, Pirates at Cardinals, Mariners at Astros, Diamondbacks at Padres, then again the Giants at the Dodgers, and the last game, late game, Angels at Athletics on Friday, July 24th. So
You finally get to see what Anthony Rendon can do on the Anaheim Angels.
exactly, they go on the road just a little ways up from Anaheim to Oakland. So I think the Angels are going to be fun to watch, and then of course the A's always make a run. Playing Moneyball, don't have a big salary lineup, but they always make a run. So we'll see how that plays out. So who do you think?
Who do I think about what?
Early prognostication, making playoff runs and
I
World
think-
Series pushes.
I think the Twins are underrated, but they're always underrated.
I totally agree.
I always think the Twins are underrated. I think the Yankees are still going to be good too in that same division. So I don't know. It's going to be a tough matchup in that division.
Yeah, for the American League, it's going to. I think it's less obvious in the American League,
Right.
although the Yankees have
It's
a
a bit more
lot
murky.
of power. National League, who do you think? And I think the Dodgers have the advantage.
Dodgers, of course, the Nationals, of course, and
Yeah,
I'll give you your Reds. Maybe they'll do something.
Oh,
in a
thank you
60
for
game
that.
in a 60-game season, they'll have to do something, right?
Yeah. And give a little love
This is their time to shine.
to kind of a local team. The Braves in a shortened season, good young team, maybe got a chance to push into past the Dodgers into the World Series. We'll
Right.
see. Of course, it's anybody. They haven't played a single game, so all of them.
Right.
Hope springs eternal.
Right.
So we'll see what shakes out.
Well, it's been pretty positive news because if you're an NBA fan, all 360-some players tested negative for the coronavirus.
Yeah.
So the bubble seems to be working. We're going to have a season. That starts at the end of this month. I think they're playing 8 regular season games, and
Right.
then they're going into the playoffs.
That's it.
So, any prognostication there?
Well, we had a long series just about that.
Mhm.
I'm not going to change anything that I said.
Right,
I
Clippers.
still think the Clippers are going to beat
Lakers.
the Lakers. And I think the Bucks are probably going to meet the Celtics on the other side. And we'll see.
So with the playoffs, they're still doing Eastern Western.
They still are. Same format. It's just
Yeah.
play 8 final regular season games to see who gets the seeding. Will change maybe,
Mhm.
depending on their records. But really just to see who the last playoff team is, the
Right.
8th seed. Of course, in the Eastern Conference, there's only one other team, the Wizards, 3 games behind the Magic. May have an outside shot in 8 games of overtaking the Magic. Probably not.
Mhm.
And then, of course, in the West, you got the Grizzlies, Blazers, Kings, and Pelicans all vying for the 8th seed
Mhm.
in the West. And honestly, I think the rest benefits the Blazers the most with Damian Lillard, McCollum,
Could
and
be.
a couple of other injuries.
They'll have
I
to win a
think.
few more games to get in it.
Yeah.
But it could be. I mean, if you're going to pick a team that's actually going to make those 8 games count, the Trailblazers are probably the ones you want to look at these first 8 games to try to see if they can vie for the playoffs and actually get in. Zion had to leave because of a family emergency. So if you're a Zion Williamson fan or a Duke fan, that sucks because you can't see Zion Williamson. They tried so hard to get him into
I
the
think
playoffs.
They extended it so far. They were the very last.
They're like, let's get
team
Zion in the playoffs,
to
and
get him,
he's
and then he's not going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh,
oh well.
So the 8th seed right now would be the Grizzlies,
Right.
as it ends now, who I think have the Rookie of the Year in Ja Morant.
Murray State.
Yep. So
Was he National Player of the Year last year?
no,
Ja Morant.
I believe it was the guy from Dayton, Obi Toppin.
Oh no, I mean like
Oh,
last
yeah.
year.
Oh, 2 years ago.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think he was National Player of the Year. With Ja
Yeah, he
Morant.
was in one of the things. I don't think it was the Wooden Award, but it was like the Naismith Award.
Right.
Yep, I think he was.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Don't hold me to that, but he did win one of the.
And I think Zion, he was just hurt too much to win it or something.
Yeah,
But
that's-
he was the best. I mean, he was
Well,
the
he's-
best prospect, and he's already anointed. He's on the cover of NBA 2K for this next year. If you're into video games.
Right. Right. Not quite the
Sorry.
curse on 2K as it has been in Madden, but
Not quite. Not quite.
so so that starts next Thursday, the 30th. NBA starts up. Like I said, in the bubble, been seeing some
Do
fun
you think
things.
Adam
happening.
Silver's in the bubble? The commissioner of the NBA.
Probably.
Right.
I would think
So if you're looking on Instagram or in this modern world of players being able to talk to you in a personal manner, I've seen Luka Doncic, who is the guard for the Dallas Mavericks,
Right.
Dallas Mavericks, and he has been doing every single activity that's in the bubble, and it's the most entertaining thing you'll ever see. But what really is a shame is Michael Jordan's not in the bubble because he would just try to show up all these NBA players
You're
trying to
saying
catch
he's
fish.
competitive?
Just a little bit. Just a little competitive.
Yep.
I mean, if you need to watch The Last Dance, which that's highly recommended by me, I'd have to say. It's on Netflix, so if you have Netflix, just a sports recommendation for you. Anyway,
Yeah.
what else do you have to say about the NBA?
Well, yeah, I've been seeing they've had a lot of fun catching fish and
Yeah.
riding things and doing everything that Central Florida has to offer inside
Right.
the bubble.
Right.
Right. So
Florida is probably the best place you can be sequestered at, I guess.
as far as things, activities, and there were a lot of negative things that some of the players had to say at first. I think
Right.
they were just disgruntled. They were going to.
And Rajon Rondo had to get out of there. he got an injury like quick.
So they're like, no, this isn't life as
He's like,
normal.
this is worse than playing for the Dallas Mavericks. I got to get out of here.
I guess if anything through this whole pandemic that we have learned, you have to be adaptable.
Right.
I mean, you really do. Things change. We have to get used to things being different. The things that you grew accustomed to, you just have to wing it and just do the best you can with what you got and what you can do. And the team that can do that in the NBA will hoist the trophy this year. So.
And for the NFL, the NFLPA has agreed with the NFL that they are going to do daily coronavirus tests. I am so sorry for every player's nose. It's not going to be fun, but I'm happy that they finally got that, and it's good to know if anybody has it. And I'm sure the tests will get back to them pretty quickly, and they'll be able to know what player will get it. Because the NFL is huge, the amount of players on the roster, and it's going to be almost impossible for there not to be some sort of positive test. But since they're doing it daily, hopefully they can go ahead and actually quarantine the people who have it. So.
Exactly, give their time in quarantine for 2 to 3 weeks,
right.
And verify that they're over it and get them back into camp. So you'll have to get me up to speed. I'm not that up to speed on the NFL news this week.
Right,
I don't know
that's basically the biggest news. And also, they're probably not going to have a preseason. They're down to one preseason game, and they're trying to get out of that. So I don't know. We probably won't have any fans though in any of those stadiums. I think Jacksonville is trying to do 25% capacity. That's what I've heard was the last, is what they're going to try, is the most they'll experiment with. Okay. So if you are trying to go to a game, try to get in the 25%. Good luck.
Ooh, talk about a
hard
hot
to get ticket. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, Jacksonville, though it's in Florida, who's had the huge uptick of cases, the hottest spot on the planet for COVID right now. But Jacksonville in North Florida, not near as much so as South Florida, Central and South Florida, South Florida down toward Miami. So, hey, maybe that'll work. And so when is the first game for the only game in the preseason so far that they're trying? Is that the last weekend in August?
I believe so. I believe it's the last weekend in August.
So maybe that'll take place. Maybe
the Hall of Fame game was canceled long ago.
Yeah, that's always the end of July.
Yeah. And the season will start on September 8th, which is my birthday.
So. Yeah, so happy birthday to Keegan.
It would be the best gift it could give me if it actually happens.
we keep our fingers crossed. We hope that NFL happens in some capacity, with or without fans. So. Right. There will be fans. It's just whether they'll be in the stadiums or not.
Watching on TV.
Just like we are now.
Exactly. Did you have anything more you wanted to say about the sports world today?
Sports world. Well, of course, NASCAR's clipping right along, and there, Austin Dillon's won a couple races now. Actually, earned one this past week.
Austin Dillon.
I think he may be. I think a lot of people had coronated him kind of the heir apparent to be the next golden boy of NASCAR.
Really?
Austin
Dillon. Oh, Dillon.
Yeah, Austin Dillon. Got nothing against him, local boy from here in North Carolina. Wish him well. They've kind of suspended horse racing for a while. Maybe get back to that. Major League Soccer's been playing.
I have seen that. Columbus Clippers, best team in the sport.
OHIO. OHIO, a hotbed for soccer. I don't know. I guess that's we got the major sports covered.
Yes.
Unfortunately, regret to inform you that there's no high school sports going to start early on time. Right now, all that they're able to do in the short term is individual workouts, no contact between athletes on the high school level, West, High Brighton, South, for football, soccer, female sports, all the same.
Right.
Starting out, hate that for you if you're watching this at home. I know that for a lot of high school athletes, that's what makes you get up and go to school
Right.
and do well
sports.
in the classroom to be able to play sports. And a lot of the student body like to follow that. That's a social aspect of high school. So hopefully, maybe it's not a wash for the whole fall, but
Right.
at the beginning, they're just going to be doing well to get any students on campuses.
Exactly.
And that being said, similar in college sports,
Right.
although most major universities are all systems go come the end of August for student bodies on campus. We'll see if they're able to pull that off, and if so, I think that gives a major push for seeing college football
Right.
and fall sports.
I think it's already been announced that the Big Ten, I think they're going to only do in-conference.
In-conference in the Big Ten, Pac-12's the same.
Pac-12 is the same, and the SEC is going to be a holdout. They want to just play their regular season. I'm sure they'll be the last ones to go to conference only, if they go to conference only. What do you think about that? You think the SEC will actually go with that? Because, I mean, if everybody's doing their own conference, they're going to have to.
Yeah, pretty much. If everybody's just doing their own conference, that leaves all their other
Right.
competitors, not vacant to play.
I mean,
games.
as much as we want to see Alabama play Lenore Ryan, I don't know if they'll go that low.
No, I don't think they'll drop to Division II for that. But I think with the Big Ten pushing that and Pac-12 following suit, ACC is watching it. They've already pretty much all but done that. Think that that's what they're going to do. And of course, the SEC, they want some of the bigger, non-conference games. But like you said, no opponents means they'll all be in conference as well. But that being said, I have to say, it makes no sense for local teams that are already scheduled, if it's all about regionalization, not spreading COVID.
Right.
Why is Wake Forest not able to play Appalachian?
Right, it's just that close.
Hour and a half to 2 hours max away,
Mm-hmm.
then they should be able to play,
Right.
in-state rivals from different conferences that are that close. And maybe they'll work something out along those lines. I hope they can.
Yeah, I mean, it's only about because of the conferences have an in-house thing. They just want to play the conference because that's their conference, and I mean that makes sense.
And that's what the postseason bids or bowl bids
Right.
are all based upon. That's what their seeding's based upon. So yeah, I mean I understand that. Let's take care of a conference first, but I think there should be some regional rivalry games as well, some of the smaller conferences are holding off and announcing that because, they want to play their big money games with the bigger conferences. And I would too if that were them. That gives a chance for notoriety and money for your sports program, which is probably going to be sorely lacking somewhat without any fans much in attendance. So let's see what happens. But there should be, my alma mater, East Carolina. East Carolina should be able to play Appalachian. It's on their schedule. Same state.
Same state.
East Carolina I think has Wake Forest on their schedule. Should play Wake Forest.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, or at least pick one in-state. I mean, I can't see a South Carolina Clemson rivalry not happening.
Right.
In South Carolina, for instance, and several other states feel the same way. I'm sure. With those in-state non-conference rivalry games.
Right.
Like Iowa and Iowa State. I mean, that's the only two major schools in the state, and they're in separate conferences. I can't see them not playing, but apparently they won't.
And when it comes to
Big Ten is
and
Iowa's not going to play anything out of conference, so that rivalry that's been going on since the 1890s will end.
Right.
Sadly.
And when they finally do have a postseason, the playoff, and the 4 teams, I'm sure they could just kind of have that same bubble concept with just those teams, those 4 teams. Which I don't think that'll be too difficult with 4 teams on college football. What do you think about that?
No, I don't think so. Unless we have a major resurgence of COVID
and that's
on a mass
February,
scale.
so hopefully we're better by then.
And so I think you're right. We should be fine by then, but who knows what the landscape will look like by then.
Know.
But
we'll endure.
We will endure.
As Bane says in The Dark Knight Rises.
We will endure.
Thank you so much for joining us. I am Keegan Matheson.
I'm Kevin Matheson.
And this has been Caldwell Sports Commentary, the only televised sports show in Caldwell County, North Carolina. See ya on the Flippity Flip.
Next time.